Hello again, my name's Gabe Zona. You really need to sit back and read this entire article. The title is Constitution Defending the Union from Threats, Foreign and Domestic. For the last week or so, the entire nation has been talking about gun control, or at least the media has been talking about it. The sudden tsunami of gun control stories, articles, op-eds, and segments is the result of the terrible mass shooting that took place at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in beautiful Parkland, Florida. Sadly, the focus on gun control has caused the media and the people who get their news from the media to miss the far larger scandal revolving around Douglas High School. Latest shooting plot exposed. You won't believe who set it up. You want to read this entire article? You know, you've heard me say this before, it's always about the money. And that's what you're going to learn. It's always about the money. You're not going to believe how this thing unfolded, but it makes absolute perfect sense. The police were compromised by the schools, by the school board. The police allowed children to commit crimes, including felonies, to hide their crimes so the schools would receive additional grants and funding by performing. You're not going to believe this. This is completely, you've heard me say this before, totally insane. It also explains why Nikolas Cruz was never arrested with all the calls that took place to his home. Do I think Nikolas Cruz committed all these crimes? I don't know. But I do know none of this would have happened if we didn't have a corrupt system. They allowed this to happen. Read the entire article. Personally, I think there's much more to it. I think there's a lot more sinister aspects to it. But when you read how the police were compromised, how the officers were compromised, and now they're trying to hang these 4 officers out to dry, who in their right mind, again, would run into a building where shots are being fired when you don't know where they're being fired or who's firing those shots? Absolutely insane. Distract, divert, to deceive. You need to thank all these reporters that uncovered this. Sit back, drink a cup of coffee, have whatever beverage you want, read the entire article. You're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it. But again, as I said at the beginning, it all comes back to money. Absolutely insane. You got to get rid of that police chief. You got to get rid of a lot of those in that police force. You got to get rid of that school board, those administrators. They're responsible. They're directly responsible by allowing this kind of criminal activity to fester throughout their entire system. Gangs were using these children to commit crimes because they knew they wouldn't be punished for those crimes, including felonies. Folks, please read the entire article. The link will be attached. And I want to thank my viewer, and he knows who he is, for sending this to me. Absolutely mind-blowing. Thanks for listening.